Picture this. Mortgage rates are hovering near 7%, inventory is rising, and worrying headlines are everywhere about affordability. But here's the flip side. Arizona homeowners are undercutting each other, with 28% of Phoenix area listings receiving price reductions in April compared to just 18% nationally. That's a massive shift, and it's opening up some creative opportunities for buyers. Rather than waiting for rates to plummet, smart home buyers are working with sellers to structure deals to reduce monthly costs right now. In this video, I'll walk you through how buyers are creatively using elements like rate buydowns, seller-covered closing costs, and appraisal gap protections to get into homes without waiting years for perfect rates. It's not just theory. I'm working through this with clients here in Phoenix, Goodyear, Scottsdale, and elsewhere every day. If you've been on the fence about buying because of high rates, this is the playbook you've been waiting for. Okay, let's break down why this is happening right now. Mortgage rates as of today are averaging around 6.89%, still double what they were during pandemic lows. And while the Fed might eventually soften the federal funds rate, lenders and investors have already priced in inflation risk. The bottom line, we're not going back to 3 to 4% rates anytime soon. On top of that, the Arizona market has cooled from last year's frenzy, but hasn't crashed. Inventory is creeping up, buyer urgency is weakening, and that means sellers are more receptive to structuring deals. The 28% price cut rate in April from azfamily.com shows that sellers are already adapting. That shift in the seller mindset is your opportunity, and it's why creative deal structures now matter more than ever. Let's dive into how buyers are using creativity to offset high mortgage costs. Starting with the 2-1 buydown. The 2-1 buydown means the seller pays to reduce the buyer's rate by 2% the first year, 1% the second, and then it goes to the market rate. If rates were 6.76% when you applied, you start with something like 4.76% this year, and then next year you'd go to 5.76%. This can net you huge savings. We also have seller covered closing costs. This is a straightforward credit for fees. It allows you to preserve down payment or use it for a rate buydown instead. Depending on the amount required for your down payment, you might even be able to use this concession to pay off additional debt that you have personally or put it back in your pocket entirely. Then we have the permanent buy down. Instead of short-term relief, the seller pays to reduce the rate for the full term of the loan. It requires more upfront, but it gives consistent savings over time. We also can look at the appraisal gap coverage. In today's market, homes sometimes appraise low even if priced correctly. Sellers covering that gap gives buyers confidence and competitive leverage without raising the sales price. Here's the play. Imagine a $300,000 home. A seller offers either $10,000 price drop or a $10,000 rate buy down. If you take the price cut, your payment drops, but inflation might eat into that equity. If you use the 10K to buy down the rate, you'll lower your monthly payment and build equity faster. Here's the thing, most home buyers don't even know these options exist. They see high rates, panic, and delay. But when you know these tools do exist, you gain the advantage, especially in today's Arizona market where 28% of listings are adjusting their price. And it's my job to advise clients on all of those levers: rate strategy, closing cost allocations, appraisal gaps, and not just the price point. When buyers use them, the math can start to add up. Now let's flip the script for a second and look at what's going on in sellers' heads right now, because understanding their mindset is crucial if you want to negotiate effectively as a buyer. Here's the truth. Sellers who listed in 2021 or early 2022 had completely different experience. Homes were flying off the market, buyers were waiving inspections, and everything was going over asking. But now, in 2025, the environment is entirely different, and many sellers are slowly starting to catch on. According to a report from azfamily.com, over 28% of the homes in the Phoenix metro area had price reductions in April, compared to just 18% nationally. That tells us two things. One, Phoenix is leading the pack in terms of seller flexibility, and two, many sellers started out too high to begin with, based on outdated expectations, and are now just adjusting to reality. This is especially common with homeowners who bought 3 to 5 years ago. They've built equity, maybe they're retiring, downsizing, or moving out of state, but they still want that big number. And in many cases, they're pricing emotionally, not strategically. So when those homes sit, they get nervous, and that's when you, the buyer, can step in and offer a smart deal structure, one that helps them meet their net goals while saving you real money each month. And that's also where I come in. I'm not just writing up offers. I'm coaching my buyers through what sellers are likely thinking, how we can leverage that psychology, and how we can stand out with a competitive but cost-effective proposal. Sometimes that's not even about price. Sometimes it's about making your offer easy to accept. Things like fast closing timelines, flexible move out terms, or covering certain fees in exchange for that juicy 2-1 buy down. Sellers want to feel like they're not getting taken advantage of. But when I explain how we're structuring the deal to give them what they need while also protecting your budget, that's where deals happen. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Shouldn't I just wait until rates drop? And look, that's a valid question, but here's what a lot of people miss. Let's say the Fed does lower rates in the next year. Even a drop of 0.5% to 1% is going to trigger a wave of buyers to re-enter the market. And guess what? The sellers who are offering concessions today probably won't be doing that anymore. Prices may edge up, competition increases, and all of a sudden that perfect timing window closes. So what do smart buyers do in 2025? They buy when others are hesitating. They negotiate when sellers are flexible, and they're refinancing later if rates fall. But in the meantime, they're building equity and owning their home. And this is one of the many strategies I walk my clients through. It's not about market timing, it's about market strategy. And that's where experience and local market knowledge come in. In places like Goodyear, Surprise, and parts of North Phoenix, I'm seeing listings under 475K with room to negotiate. These are the opportunities people look back on a few years from now and say, I should have bought. Here's the part that really matters. Yes, the market is challenging, but the good news is you don't have to navigate it alone. This is where I come in. If you're looking to buy in the greater Phoenix area, whether that's Buckeye, Goodyear, Surprise, Glendale, even Scottsdale, where the pricing has shifted, I'm helping buyers get creative with actual results. I'm not handing you an MLS link and saying good luck. I'm reverse engineering your monthly budget, identifying motivated sellers, and building offers that are strategic, not just hopeful. We'll look at the seller's listing history, how long it's been on the market, what their pricing behavior has been, and then we talk about your goals. Do you want to move in fast? Do you need help with closing costs? Are you planning to refinance in 12 to 24 months? All of that shapes how we'll write the offer. And yes, even in a high rate environment, I'm helping buyers walk away with deals they feel great about. The biggest mistake I see people make is sitting on the sidelines thinking that rates will drop and magically fix everything. But if you're not actively preparing and looking now, you won't be ready when the next opportunity shows up. On the other side of the coin, if you're a seller watching this, let's be real. 2025 is not 2021. You can't slap a high number on your home and expect buyers to line up. You need real strategy, and that starts with understanding your buyer. In this market, pricing alone won't cut it. You need to understand buyer psychology, local data, and how to make your listing stand out. And that might mean offering concessions that actually get the deal done. But here's the key, you don't have to give everything away. If you work with someone who knows how to package and present your home, with the right staging, pricing approach, and strategic negotiation, you can still sell for top value and meet your goals. The key is that we talk first. I want to know what your situation is. Are you trying to move quickly? Are you aiming for a certain net? Do you need time after closing? Once we get clear on your goals and motivations, we can map out a listing strategy that actually works, not just hopes for the best. And frankly, if a seller is fixated on an unrealistic price and unwilling to adapt today's conditions, I'm not the agent for that. Because I don't just want a listing, I want to help you sell your home. And I want you, my client, to win in the process. So here's the bottom line. This market isn't easy, but it's not broken either. Smart buyers aren't waiting for rates to drop, they're figuring out how to buy smarter right now. And smart sellers aren't clinging to old price expectations. They're working with the market instead of against it. And if you're thinking, okay, this sounds great, but I have no idea where to start, that's exactly why I'm here. Whether you're a first time home buyer trying to make sense of all these options, a move up buyer trying to time a sale and purchase in the same market, or a seller who wants to understand what real buyers are looking for in 2025, I can help you build a strategy that's not just reactive, but actually proactive. You can reach out to me via any of the contact information down below, and I'll respond personally. I'm happy to just talk you through where you're at and what your options are, and you can also browse more about me and how I operate my business. If you've got value from this video, please hit that like button, and it helps more people see this content. If you want regular updates on the Phoenix real estate market, creative buying strategies, and how to actually win in this market, go ahead and subscribe. I post weekly with insights that are always data driven and never hype topics. And hey, drop a comment. Tell me what your biggest question is right now. Are you thinking about buying, selling, or just watching from the sidelines? I read every comment and respond when I can. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.